Today, we are diving into a significant development involving Columbia University and the Trump administration. Recently, Columbia agreed to implement policy changes in response to an ultimatum issued by the Trump administration, which threatened to withdraw billions in federal funding if the university did not comply. The situation has drawn intense scrutiny and sparked debates around academic freedom and government influence over educational institutions. Columbia University's administration announced that it would be making several sweeping reforms. These include placing its Middle East Studies Department under new supervision, adopting a new definition of antisemitism, expanding intellectual diversity by increasing staffing at its Institute for Israel and Jewish Studies, and changing rules surrounding student protests and campus discipline. Reported by Internewscast and Scripps News, Interim President Katrina Armstrong indicated that these changes were necessary to address legitimate concerns regarding anti-Semitic acts on campus. The relevance of this issue lies in the broader implications for academic institutions across the nation. The Trump administration's aggressive stance toward Columbia is not an isolated incident. It represents a trend where federal funding is used as leverage over universities' policies related to free speech, diversity programs, and campus safety. In fact, Columbia faced substantial financial pressure earlier this month when $400 million in research grants were suspended due to how they handled protests against Israel's military actions. Different perspectives have emerged from various sources regarding this matter. Critics argue that Columbia's compliance reflects a worrying capitulation to governmental pressure that could jeopardize academic freedom nationwide. Anna Lieberman from the New York Civil Liberties Union stated that Columbia's capitulation endangers academic freedom and campus expression nationwide. On the other hand, proponents of these changes maintain that they are necessary steps towards ensuring safety on campus in light of rising incidents of harassment related to these issues. In terms of potential impact, these policy alterations may set a precedent for other universities facing similar pressures. Noted by Tyler Coward from the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. A prominent institution like Columbia cannot resist government demands threatening free speech. And what does this mean for smaller colleges? The chilling effect could lead schools nationwide to adopt more restrictive policies on protests and demonstrations out of fear of losing federal support. Historically speaking, this isn't unprecedented. There have been numerous instances where governmental bodies have influenced higher education through funding restrictions or oversight, often during periods of social upheaval or conflict over civil rights issues within campuses. For instance, during the late 1960s, anti-war movements across U.S. universities led some administrations to adopt stricter controls over campus activities amidst fears of unrest. Now let's consider what might be overlooked about this situation. Advocacy groups are raising alarms about threats to free speech and academic integrity at Columbia University today. There exists a complex interplay between protecting free expression on campuses versus maintaining order during times when protests can disrupt educational missions. Reporters argue that establishing clearer boundaries is essential for preserving both safety and civility within academia. In conclusion, my analysis points toward recognizing both sides of this debate, the need for security measures at educational institutions alongside unwavering commitment to upholding principles of free speech and inquiry in academia. This narrative unfolds with potential long-term consequences for how universities operate under governmental scrutiny. It as a pivotal moment provoking critical discussions among students, faculty members, policymakers, and indeed all citizens engaged with our education system's future direction.